The Joe Rogan Experience.
There's a few things, I don't know if this would be interesting to go into, but there's a few things that I've found have been somewhat successful in conversations with people who really disagree with me, in at least like lowering the temperature a little bit and getting people to maybe engage in a good faith way. One of them is, how do you think I came to my position? So you might be for total free market, for-profit healthcare. I am for a system where the government is more involved, and even if you can't pay, you get care. Before we even start, if I say, how do you think I arrived at my position?
Yeah.
That has been pretty useful. Another example is, I think this came from Peter Boghossian, who I think you've had on.
Yes.
The defeasibility question, which is, what evidence, if I presented it to you, would bring you over to my side? I'm not saying I have that evidence or that it exists, but give me a framework as to what is keeping you from seeing this my way. Because sometimes that exists, the person just doesn't know about it. Those are two tools that I have found super useful in trying to make some headway with people who are hyper-partisan and very escalated with a lot of these issues.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's very difficult to have good faith conversations with people when you disagree with them, and you have to have discipline, and you have to have some sort of a sense of self.
Yeah.
And you have to know how to be calm and kind. The descent into insults and dunking on people is one of the reasons why at the beginning of the conversation I was saying that one of the things I enjoy about your YouTube videos is you're a very reasonable, rational person, and you don't get crazy and animated and insulting. And I think we need more of that, because I think even though you're not going to convert some people, there's just a certain section of the population that disagrees with you that's just going to.
Right.
But there's a significant number that are going to go, hey, this David Pakman guy, he's reasonable. He's making a lot of sense. He's intelligent and articulate.
Well, my goal is, and I think that it's sort of working in that we have a lot of Trump supporters who are paid subscribers to my show. A lot. We have some.
Are they taking notes?
Maybe they are.
Right to the boss.
But my goal is that would be an interesting day if I wake up and Trump has responded to one of my videos about him.
What would you do?
I think it'd be a good day.
Well, that's what Colbert did. How funny was that when Colbert was on TV? He's like, Donald.
Yeah.
How did you not know that you shouldn't respond to me?
Right. Yeah.
That's rule number one.
It's an important one unless you want to create a shitstorm of a very certain kind.
Yeah.
My goal is, I don't pretend to be neutral. I think neutrality is almost always false, because on most issues, people are not indifferent. I mean, neutral is another way of saying indifferent.
You could be conflicted and neutral.
You could be conflicted and neutral, but I try to at least be objective and transparent in how I arrived at what I believe. So you can disagree with my conclusion. You can even come to me and tell me the facts I've used to reach the conclusion are incomplete or wrong, but I'm completely genuine in how I arrived there. And I think that is why we have some, there's obviously, if you look at YouTube comments, there are right-wingers that watch my show, but choosing to support it financially is a different thing. And I get emails from conservatives who say, I don't agree with your conclusions, but I do find that you're at least reasoning through the issues in a way that resonates with me, and I want to support the fact that you're doing that.
That's outstanding. That's a huge victory. It really is.
In a sense.
In my eyes, in this day and age,